For today's story, we need our underlay, we need the Holy Bible, and we need the bookshelf with all our books on, but I'll bring that closer a little bit later. We also need a summary card and a summary sheet. Well, it's actually a pack of summary cards, and Michael will put a photo up on the top of the screen right now so that you can see this. We don't have that, but once we're back in our church, we will have those there so that you can have a look and we can explain how they work. This is the Holy Bible. The Bible wasn't always a book. The stories were told long, long ago around a campfire with people sitting in a circle in the desert or in people's homes. Later on, people start writing the stories down on pieces of soft leather and later on paper. When the printing press was invented, the Bible got printed in a book. Now you might even have the Bible on your computer or on your phone. We can open the front door of the Bible, or we can open the back door of the Bible. But in our Godly Playroom at church, we like opening the front and the back door so that all the stories can be let out. These stories are all around our Godly Playroom at church. We like telling these stories in the same old way, sitting in a circle and listening to the stories. Sometimes you find the stories on a video or you find the stories in a movie, but we like telling them the old way. The Bible is for you. The Bible is always here for you to come to. When we tell a story, we open the Bible at the place where the story can be found. And once we've told the story, you can always come back and read it again by yourself. Or you can ask an adult to help you read the story. The Bible is not really only just one book. No, it is a whole collection of books, a bit like a library. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at the books of the Old Testament. These are the books of the Old Testament, and they are the books written before Jesus was born. Now these books are also often called the Hebrew Scriptures, and they are read by both Christians and Jews. We have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. We have Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. We have Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs. We have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, and Joel. We have Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. These are the books of the Old Testament. And I'm recognizing a lot of your names in these books. Now, these are the books in the New Testament. And these are the stories written from Jesus' birth, and he tells the story of his birth, his life, his crucifixion, and his resurrection, and the time thereafter. We have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We've got Acts. We have Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians. These are a bit like dominoes. We've got Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 and 2 Peter, 1, 2 and 3 John, Jude, and lastly Revelation. These are the books of the New Testament. And can you see the New Testament is much shorter than the Old Testament? The New Testament, as I've said, are the stories that was written from Jesus' birth, his crucifixion, the start of the early church, and thereafter. And these books are read by Christians only. Let's count the books. We put them back on the shelf and we count how many books there are in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. You can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We're getting there. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 39 books in the Old Testament, one less than 40. And the New Testament, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then 27. 27 books in the New Testament and 39 in the Old Testament. Now, there's, as you can see here, there's different types of books. There's the books of law, the white ones. There's the books of history, these turquoisey ones. The books of poetry, the books of the prophets, the Gospels, the history of the early church, this little purple one here, and all of these, the letters to all the churches, the early churches, and lastly the dark pink one, the Revelation to John. Now the little cards that I was talking about, the summary cards earlier. The summary cards tell us what you can find in each book. So for example, if you are interested to find out what is in the book of Ruth, you will go to the pack of cards, pull out the card about Ruth, and that card will tell you exactly what you can expect to find in the book of Ruth. Or you may want to go and explore what is in the book of Jonah and read about the whale and how that all happened, the whale that swallowed Jonah. Then you pull out that card and the card will tell you exactly what happens in the book of Jonah. So you can do that with any one of these books of the Bible. And what's interesting is our stories in our Godly Playroom at church comes from these books. Now I'm going to try and remember some of those stories. It's not the Holy Family. The stories about Abram and Sarai comes from Genesis. The 10 Best Ways, which is the 10 Commandments, comes from the book of Exodus. There you go, that story you will find in that book. Then we have also told the stories of Advent, the stories of Jesus' crucifixion, his birth. Those stories are in the Gospels. And the parables that we have told quite a few stories of is also in the Gospels. And as we go through all our stories, you will learn which one of these books have your favorite stories in. Do you know what? Some people even memorize the books of the Bible in the order in which they come. And that makes finding your favorite story in the Bible so much easier. Let's try and look at the books of law. There's 5 books in the books of law: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. 5 of them. Let's say that together again. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And now you can try and say it yourself. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. See, that is not that hard. When we get back to church, I have a bookmark that I will take, a whole pack of them. And on the bookmark, if Caleb can zoom into that, are you zoomed in, Caleb? There's a list of all the books of the Bible, all the Old Testament books up to there, and then all the New Testament books. And you can keep this, memorize the books to make it easier for you to find your favorite story. Now I wonder, which of these books do you like the most? I wonder which book you think is for you. I wonder which type of story, law, history, poetry, the prophets, which type of stories or books do you like best? I wonder if there's a part of all these stories that you think we can leave out and that it will still be enough.